Hello, welcome to part 6 of the video commentary for High Performance Imports V5. This is a tour of the OS Giken factory in Okayama. Some people watching this video may be aware that I distributed OS Giken parts in Australia for quite a long time through my company Automoto. That didn't start until a good 3 or 4 years after I made this video, and by then I'd pretty much finished doing magazines or videos. But when I filmed this, OS Giken were coming out with a lot of interesting new products, and obviously a lot of cars that I was featuring had parts from this factory, so I was very keen to go and have a look at it.
OS Giken is one of the oldest tuning companies in Japan. In the mid-70s, they designed this twin-cam head for the Nissan L-Series engine.
And they're as rare as hen's teeth now, the original ones especially. They did do a re-release of this head as a complete motor. I think I already covered this in one of the Auto Salon videos, but it wasn't just the head. When they re-released it, it was a complete motor with a counterbalance crank, and it was 3.2 litres, rev to 9,000 RPM. The head was thoroughly redesigned, had much bigger ports, bigger cams, and it was extremely expensive. A lot of people did put deposits down. This was about the time I stopped doing distribution for them, but I know that they did have quite a few orders in the works. How many they actually produced in the end, I'm afraid I do not know.
Now they are best known for their wide range of multi-plate performance clutches.
This color is top hue.
They also made clutches for other brands. This guy's name is Shimoyama. He was sort of my main point of contact for a long time when I was working with them. Really nice guy. He also had a Toyota 2000 GT, which was just parked in front of his house in Okayama. Pretty amazing.
Their newest product is a sequential transmission for the Skyline GTR. Soon this will also be available for the Supras and Silvias.
That actually didn't happen, and I think they did have close ratio gear sets for SR20 gearboxes and Skyline gearboxes, and they had a gear set for the R1545 speed that was in the earlier Supras and some Soras. But they never actually made anything for the Getrag 6-speed. They did make a gear set for the later 350Z 6-speed gearbox, but I never actually saw one. No, I never sold one. So I don't know whether or not they continue with that. And to be honest, I don't know what else they may have made since then. OS Giken have actually changed hands, I think about 5 years ago. Anyway, let's just look at what was going on in 2003.
They also manufacture engine parts, differentials and the famous 3-litre kit for the GTR engine. This car uses both the sequential transmission and the 3-litre engine kit. So far it has run a best time of 9.8 seconds, but it was not built specifically for drag. The turbo was a giant Truss T88H 34D, which spools up faster thanks to the long stroke engine. The power output is just over 1,000 horsepower. Inside it certainly looks like a drag car, with the HKS FCON V Pro computer and a trio of fuel pumps in the back. Even at low boost, it's a handful on the narrow Japanese streets.
Something that always amazed me in Japan, how often workshops were quite happy to take me for a blast in a car like this on a residential street. Usually they try and find somewhere a bit remote, but that's not always easy in a large city. In case you're not familiar with this sort of modified car, it's got what's known as an open wastegate. So as soon as the turbo gets up to the right boost level, the maximum boost level, for the way they've tuned the car, the wastegate opens to take pressure away from the exhaust side of the turbo, and that stops it spinning any faster, so it won't make any higher boost than that. On a factory turbo, that exhaust gas that's being wasted would always be plumbed back into the exhaust. But on a performance car, they just had a open pipe that went down to the side. So that's why, as the engine comes on boost, it'll suddenly become really loud when that wastegate opens.
全部はどこまでもっといける
Yeah, this guy couldn't quite get his head around the fact that I spoke Japanese, and he kept trying to use a little bit of English here and there. And that's actually it. I thought that was a longer segment, but anyway, that's it for part 6 of High Performance Imports V5. If you like that, please like, subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another chapter.